Hey everybody, Mr. West here again. Just a follow-up with the how-to, and specifically the wing section. Here's a profile cross-section of the wing. With the dowel in the nose, a large main spar, and a supporting spar. This is poplar, and of course the trailing spar right there. All of this is done out of the same thickness of material, which is approximately probably 3/32, give or take, a little stronger than an eighth. And I got that thickness by ripping poplar off of a 3/4 inch thick poplar board by maybe 2 inches wide, and then I run it on edge through the table saw blade to get that thickness. You can do it that way, and you might be able to find sized material. In fact, I think most material that you might find, and this is solid wood, so most material you might find ready-made like that at Home Depot would be 1/4 inch thick. In my opinion, would be too heavy for this, unnecessary. You could do this again in the plywood. I just happen to have the poplar available, so substitute whatever you want to do there. 1/4 inch plywood would work real nice. 1/4 inch plywood, 5/16 dowel, and a thinner ply in the back, or a solid. 1/8 inch, 3/32 would be okay here. So there you go, and then I threw the skin on it. This is another craft paper skin that I had. It's actually paper stock, so it made a good example of. It's not construction board or anything like that, or craft board or poster board. Actually, that's the right word. Poster board. Like the black stuff I put on my other wing is a poster board that's like 20 by 30. Dollar Tree. You can get three for $1, something like that, I think it is. This is a little bit heavier. It's actually a cardboard, and it comes in 8.5 by 14. It just happened to be around, so here it is. And so what I did is I laminated the top section first, starting at the trailing edge, wrapped it around the front, did the fold crease at approximately the right location, had a little trim off on the tail end, wrapped that around, and there's a seam right there. So all of this is really not going to be used. I would never suggest using 8.5 by 14 pieces to do that with. It's just too small. But this, for an example, this is exactly how it would turn out, and those are flush to the bottom spars, obviously. If you again wanted to put in an anchor point, you could either attach to the bottom by removing the you can remove the skin and then set this right to the foam. So I would recommend that. Cut away the skin if you're going to do a flat bottom attached to like this, or just glue on rather. But if you're going to recess, then I would have set these spars up into the wing a little bit further so that this would sit flush under the skin. That's my preferred, and that's how I did it on the other one. But there you go. I'll throw this up on the website, or the channel, and you can have a look at that. Hold on just a second. Those of you that are into the KFM airfoils, which I am as well, I came up with this. I had some 3/8 thick foam sheet, packing sheet, handy. This would make a real nice light wing. Just, you can get the idea of a KFM here. This is the KFM 3. And so this is 50%, that location is 50% from the leading edge, and then this is 75% from the leading edge. So each of these sections is equal to the double of this front section. Some laminating going on there. We've got the this cardboard stock running all the way through underneath these front sections, and then a spar which could have run all the way to the bottom. Could have, should have run all the way to the bottom. Possibly the same with this one as well. Having that skin run all the way through on there isn't necessary per se. Don't know that it's an advantage. Using the foam board, construction board, you can get 3 layers like this real nice out of it for a very thin and strong. That wing would be very strong if you laminated 3 layers of the construction, I should say poster board, foam board, sorry, or project board. This stuff right here, it's a little less than 1/4 of an inch. So overall you'd have a little less than a 3/4 inch tall or thick cord, which would be okay. That'd be a pretty fast, speedy plane, sort of a 54, 60-inch max, depending on how you sparred it. If you did some pretty sturdy spars, then you could maybe get out to 65, 70 inches. And then put on a nosing. This nosing here was hand shaped with a sanding block. A little tedious, and it would be really hard on a long stretch. A lot of this was whittled down with the table saw, so this excess was cut off with a table saw on a couple of cuts here. So one cut here, taking off some on an angle, and then another cut here, and the same on the bottom, another cut. And that gave the general shape, and then all you had to do is knock off the points, and then it's fairly uniform. So that helps getting that all the way down to that position or that shape. This has no leading edge support at all, kind of flimsy in that regard. So if you hit anything, it's gonna show up in your foam. Next step would then be to not paper, but actually you could heat shrink, covering like a monocoat cover. That's something else I didn't mention earlier, is that with this cardboard as a exoskeleton, a shell, you could then just monocoat this surface all the way around, and that would work really, really well. It gets a little bit more expensive, but if that's not a problem, this will support it really nicely, and it would stick well to it. Just make sure you dust it off real well. Take a very lightly damp rag, if anything, just barely misted, just so it would tack up the dust that's on it, and then start with your monocoat iron on. Okay, so there you go. The 4-inch PVC2 wing build, more or less what I have on the core of the bird that I fly. All right, there you go. West out.